In 2011, Horry-Georgetown Technical College in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, began offering the major components of a degree program, taken over 2 years, on a virtual campus built in a virtual world, Second Life. CNDG, working with our development partners Pearson Learning Solutions, designed and built a campus consisting of 64 virtual acres of classrooms, learning games and activities, and social spaces with identifiable features from the HGTC physical campus in South Carolina. The first students to complete the full degree program graduated in May 2014 with great success. Students studying in the virtual world improved their grades on average by 20% and delivered capstone project proposals that were exemplary. This is their story.
We were offered the opportunity to develop in Second Life. Up until this point, I had never been willing to try an online programming course, because when you are teaching programming languages, you have to be with the students. You can't just toss up some PDFs or something on your learning management system and expect them to learn. It's much more involved than that. It's worked very, very well for this purpose, and it's just turned out to be a great thing. My students ask questions. We have kind of a different online setup in that we don't just put videos, whatever, up there and allow students to work at their own pace. I require that they meet with me once a week. At that time, I lecture just like I would in a classroom. We go over program code, they ask me questions about the code, we walk through the code so we can see what each line of code does. Anything that you do in a regular classroom, we can do in Second Life. The students are more independent. They'll try to answer their own problems first before they come to me. Whereas if I'm in the classroom with them, a student's automatic response is, "I can't get this to work, come look at it." It also helps them with collaboration. They can ask the other students before they end up asking me, which improves everybody's education. It's made our classes much more available.
I didn't really have an expectation. I was expecting it to be just convenient, really.
It was kind of exciting.
I decided, you know what, I'll give it a shot. As soon as I found out how convenient it was, I kind of jumped in on it.
The technology that's in the classroom is very important.
On the occasions that the lectures were recorded, we were able to revisit that, those were very helpful tools. The classroom environment, in my opinion, was very conducive to study.
I was able to relax in the environment. Yeah, it was for me, it was really easy to just sort of slip in.
I can interact with my students just like I do in a classroom.
The interactions between students, I really benefited from that due to the fact we were able to go into private chats during other conversations without interrupting the classroom.
You could talk in private very easily, and students just kind of like no reason to be scared to talk to one another because you're all avatars and there's no reason to judge anyone.
It did seem like a real place. It's where I went every week to class, and it felt like an actual, this is where I'm going to class.
Since not all of the students were able to be on campus at the same time, a definite advantage was that Second Life enabled us to schedule a class that everyone could attend.
We actually got to work with scripting in the sandbox and resin items and writing some scripts to make the items do certain things. That was fun.
I really, really loved the way those games were set up.
Games that you could teleport to that were the study guides for the class.
It was a huge asset to make our test scores better, to help us with studying.
Because of the activities that we have implemented here in Second Life, the grades on the tests have probably gone up around 20%.
In my experience, I believe I did learn more in the virtual environment than I would have on campus.
Once you figure out what you need, you send the request to CNDG, and it just magically appears in the classroom for you. They are great with getting the technology that you need for your classroom. CNDG provided me with live media tools in World that enabled me to show PowerPoint slides and videos on the live media board, a web board that allowed me to share my screen with the students, and a board to take notes. All of these tools were easy to use and worked as well as anything I used in a physical classroom. My students, if they have any problems, they're going to contact Mariella.
Mariella was a great help with any questions we had.
This whole endeavor has been successful because of the willingness of the CNDG staff that you work with. Because they're willing to help the students and to add the technology, it makes it much easier for the professor. I think this is a very valuable addition to any type of environment. As long as I'm teaching, I will be using it as long as I have access to it. It's just turned out to be a really great thing. I'd be lost without it.